proper forehand grip, as you can see, the racket is pointing downwards rather than flat. And this would be the proper backhand grip with my thumb on the flat end of hand should now form a V with the racket grip. It's really similar to shaking somebody's hand as you're holding this racket right now. So with the forehand grip, it allows you to get into proper position as you turn out the racket and swing with your wrists without anything blocking or hurting your wrist. To do the backhand grip, all you have to do is start with the forehand grip and switch it by putting the pointing finger down and the thumb on the flat end of your racket. This gives you a nice backhand push, but it wouldn't do you any good for overhead backhand shots. So for the backhand grips, all you have to do is push with your thumb out with your racket facing forward. The thumb will help you push the shots and the mechanics of it. To start off, you must have your racket up with your elbow slightly bent with the other arm in front. As you're swinging the shot, make sure to pivot your body and extend your hand first without straightening out your elbow. The last second, you must make sure to flick your wrist and turn out the racket head, which is very important. You won't be able to hit anything if the racket is like this. So turn out the racket head, snap the wrist, and follow through to the side and not downwards like this. This would be a standard forehand overhead shot. And you'll need the proper backhand grip to execute this properly. Start off with your elbow pointing upwards and the racket head towards your left shoulder. From here, extend outwards with your arm first as you turn your body and snap at the last second with your wrists, either straight or cross, up to you. And as usual, follow through properly afterwards. This is the overhead backhand shot for beginners. To talk about the backhand underhand. For this, you have to need proper backhand grip to execute this shot properly as well. Start off with your racket in front with the grip slightly locked and the racket facing forward. As you make contact with the birdie, make sure you pivot, you push forward with your body and snap your wrist. And make sure your racket is positioned at a certain angle so that it'll go forward rather than just upwards. We're going to talk about proper footwork. The key points, if you are right-handed, you have to start with your left leg and then ending with your right leg slightly at a lunging movement. Make sure the foot is turned towards the direction in which you're going towards and not to the straight, because you could potentially injure yourself and twist your ankle like that. So always have a nice balanced support of your entire body in a lunging motion to end your footwork. This would be the footwork for going towards the front for your forehand side. We're going to talk about the forward motion for your footwork towards your backhand side now. To start off, make sure your left foot goes first if you're right-handed and end with your right leg in a lunging motion, reaching towards the net. Make sure the foot is pointing the proper direction, like to balance your body in a proper lunge, rather than any other direction, which potentially can help you twist your ankle. This is how you do the footwork for the front net backhand. We're going to talk about the forehand side footwork. To start off, make sure you start with your left foot and lunge outwards with your right foot. Make sure that your foot is pointing towards the direction in which you're lunging towards and not straight, because then you could possibly twist your ankle. So we don't want that. So have a nice balance and have a nice lunging motion. From here, shuffle back. This is how you do the forehand side footwork. We're going to talk about the footwork for going towards our backhand side. To start off, make sure you step with your left leg and end with your right leg towards the side that you want to go towards. Make sure the foot is pointing towards that direction and not outwards in any other way, because you could potentially twist your ankle. Have a nice balance in a lunging motion and hit your backhand and shuffle back to base. This is how you do the footwork towards your backhand side. You would stand to serve. You would stand closer towards the front baseline with your right leg forward. To do the backhand short serve, start by having your backhand grip, meaning the thumb is on the flat end of your racket. Start by positioning the racket's head face down in front of you, like so. Next, put the birdie in front and in the middle of the racket. Make sure that you hold it by one of the feathers of the bird, so you have good control and feel of the smooth motion and it cannot stop. So from here, push forward gently with your fingers and over the net. To do the forehand short serve, start by positioning your right foot in the back and your racket face down. From here, hold the bird with one feather in front of you, like so. Make sure the cork is facing downwards. After that, you'll drop the birdie first, swing forward, and make sure the contact point is below your waist with the racket pushing forward, like so. For the forehand serve, same concept. Make sure the contact point is below the waist. A general tip for beginners for short serve are onto your opponent's side so that it opens up the court for you. To do the long serve with the forehand, the first step is to have a nice forehand grip. From there, have your dominant leg, if you're right-handed, that would be your right leg, in the back, holding the birdie on the feather, facing forward, with the cork facing forward. Position yourself so that the birdie is in front and the racket is down here next to your sides, wrists locked and ready to swing. Start by releasing the birdie first before you swing. A lot of beginners make the mistake of dropping and swinging at the same time. The timing would be off and you wouldn't get a very good shot from that. So make sure you hit it in front of you rather than to the side of you. Start by dropping the birdie, count 1, and then swing with a full pivot motion. This is the forehand long serve.